It's pretty straightforward the way this works. There's a Q&A button beneath me. Go ahead and submit your questions there, and I will answer them in order. So this first question is from Mike. We would like to offer members credits that they can use to make purchases instead of cash. Is there a means of doing this on this platform? No, there is not a means of doing that. You would have to build something custom and then integrate that with MemberMouse if you wanted to do it. It's not a default functionality. You could build something custom and doing it. It would be, you might want to obviously look for other systems that may do it out of the box if you can find it. If you can't, then you can talk to one of our qualified contractors to see if they would spec a solution for you to build a credit system. Because ultimately, just to explain how I would envision it going, even MemberMouse does this. There's what people pay, and then there's access, and they're already separate things. So currently, you pay for something, and as a result, you get access. What you're talking about is adding a new way of getting access, new way of paying for something using a new currency called credits. So since the access system in MemberMouse is already set up separately, that means that you could feasibly have a custom credit system built that keeps track of the credits, makes you be able to add them, tie them to a person's account, and then give them a place where they can exchange the credits. It wouldn't be the most, I would say it would be an intermediate integration. It wouldn't be an easy, and it also wouldn't be advanced. So, it would definitely take some time to implement, and you'd want to work with the right person. But it could be done. But obviously, if there's something that does it already out of the box, then that would be good. This next Cindy's saying we do have at least one customer who does this. Yeah, so it is possible to implement. Okay, next question is from Mats. How difficult would it be to implement? And then you're sending. You would love that there would be an answer to this question, right? The question is basically how difficult would it be to implement, and then it sends a link to some GitHub application, which, in order for me to properly answer that question, I would have to understand what that application does on a fundamental level, and also more an essential level. If I was going to spend the time to do that, then I could potentially give you an answer on how much. That question is essentially needs to be asked to a contractor who would build a solution for you. I can't answer that question. It's a recurring system for payments. Could you estimate a time frame cost if it's something you would be interested in? Yeah, this isn't, unfortunately, this is out of the scope of what I can answer here. But definitely you can ask one of our qualified contractors. That's exactly the kind of question that they want to hear, and they will give you a spec and a time and a cost for what it would take to implement what you're doing, if it's even required. Again, I don't understand, I don't know the specs of the application you're trying to mimic, but it's possible that some of those things, given it's a recurring payment situation, maybe it's some things MemberMouse already does for the most part, so maybe it wouldn't take too much work. But again, it would take somebody to have to understand the application you're asking about, and then be in a situation to, based on their hourly rates, give you an estimate. So take a look at our qualified, our implementation partners list, which Cindy just pasted in the chat, but you can also go to support.membermouse.com, and in the search, just type in implementation partners. So Gainer, you're saying that you have a couple questions regarding the buy settings. is that something that you think would be easier to just, if I unmute your mic, ask me those questions, or are you typing them out right now? While you're answering in the chat, while you're doing that, I'll go on to this next question here. This question is from Brigitte. When trying to get subscribed to an Aweber email list, some of our subscribers get blocked immediately by Aweber because MemberMouse isn't correctly transferring their names. In my native language, we do use accents on vowels, and these turn into different characters in the Aweber data. Aweber sent this to me. I can already tell this is a support question. It's I can't. The level of which this is asking about is not something I can answer here. It's a very specific scenario. Our security settings could have been updated, or the way the data is being passed over on the back end could have changed as well if you are using the same integration. I would recommend reaching out to MemberMouse as well to see if there's anything that can be done regarding the way the special characters are being passed over. Yeah, so that's, if you haven't already, that's something you need to send to our support team at support@membermouse.com, and then they'll escalate it appropriately so that the developers can take a look at it, because that's a development situation. Okay, so Gaynor, if you're ready, I will unmute your mic. Or I'll allow you to unmute it yourself, so whenever you're ready.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yep.
Okay. So with the Buy Now button, I've set it up, but when you click on it, the type to the right is very big, and you know, it doesn't, what's the word? It doesn't justify, you know, so words are broken up, so it looks awful. Is there a facility to make it smaller and you know, keep the words together?
Are you talking about the checkout page?
Yeah, when people click on Buy Now, and yeah, they go to the page where they can pay, and the name of the course that they're paying for on the right is very big, and you know, the words are broken up. But I don't remember when I set it up seeing anything to change the font or the size of the font or to justify or anything like that.
Right, so there are there's a thematic answer to your question, which is really the styling part of your question, the words being broken up, how big the font is, how it looks, etc. That's the theme's responsibility. The content of the text itself, the name of the course and description of the course, that's something you can do within MemberMouse. So it depends on how you have your, let me just share my screen here. It depends on how you have your checkout page set up, but you can see here, on this checkout page, it says basic plan, and this is the basic plan which gives you access to our monthly membership. So if I log in to the back end, and I go to our pages and I go to the checkout page, okay, so you can see here, this smart tag, form data name equals product name, that's outputting basic plan right now. And this smart tag, form data name equals product description, and I'll paste these into the chat. So this outputs the product name. and this outputs the product description. So this is to the extent that MemberMouse is going to be able to help you using these smart tags, because now if you go to your product settings, you'll see here, this is the example that we were looking at. Basic plan is the name, and I put the description here, right? So you can type in anything you want in the description. You can even use HTML text here to make it look pretty and whatever you want. And the same with the name. You can make the name whatever you want to. So at this level, at the data level, you can control both what the description is of the individual product and the name. As far as what it looks like, that is all dependent upon your theme. MemberMouse has nothing to do with that.
Right. I noticed when you were showing the screen, that when you were highlighting that code in,
Yeah.
it was coming up as if you might have had options to change the font there and the size of it. Is that not right?
You can do that if your theme allows for it, yeah. But again, it's not something that MemberMouse has anything to do with. So are you using a theme from a developer, or you have a custom theme?
It's just one of the WordPress free ones. I've just changed actually to Hestia.
Okay, so the question is going to be found in their documentation about how you control the styling of things, because the fact that the words are wrapping from line to line, that's a feature of their CSS styling in the theme itself. So if you didn't want the text to do that, you would have to change it in the theme itself, which I'm not educated on which
So
theme.
I've got a second question on the sort of buy now button as well. Is
Yeah.
it possible when somebody clicks on the button, instead of having for them to fill in the payment details, to say something like, you know, this course is already full, and please give your name and email here if you want to be notified when it's open again? Can it be changed to do something like that?
Yes, but not based on a feature in MemberMouse. That would be custom. That would be something that would need to be custom implemented, because in order for you to be able to do that, there would need to be a place where you, unless you did it manually, right? If you wanted to have it done automatically based on some class size that you indicate somewhere, that's one story. If you want to just be able to do it manually, that's a different situation. Which one are you talking about?
Well, I guess if they click on the buy now button, that they would be redirected somewhere else instead of the payment thing.
Right, but would you manually make that happen? Meaning, would you, you would know yourself that the class is full, and therefore you would make a change such that that would happen? Is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's really straightforward. You would just create a new page in WordPress that provides them with the information that you want to provide them with, like class is full or whatever. And then you would go to the place where you're putting the buy now button, and instead of showing the buy now button, you would show a link to the page that says the class is full.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Sure. All right. So do we have any more questions? Cindy, did I get through everything that you have? Oh, it's one more. This is from Teresa. Is there a way to redirect an error to the product sales page for that specific bundle they do not own, but are trying to access? I'm hoping to have a single link that will either take them directly to that bundle access page or redirect them to the appropriate sales page for that bundle. Thinking. Yes. Okay. What you would need to do is, let me just share my screen here again. So the default way that MemberMouse functions, as you're aware, is that if you try to access a page that you don't currently have access to, it redirects you to an error page. So what we want to do is change that behavior, right? We want to do something different than the default behavior in MemberMouse. So we can use the access decision smart tag to do this. So what I'm going to do is, let me just create a new page. Sample protected page. And I will grant access to this, protect this page for the basic membership. So I'll go ahead in here and I'll say, this is protected content. Okay, so go ahead and publish that and copy the URL. So now if I go to this page, as you would expect, it sends me to an error page saying you don't have access to this page. Now, if I make a purchase for this membership, and then I go to the page, I can now access it. Okay, so what we want to do is make it such that instead of redirecting the error page, I show them a different message that allows them to buy the product. Okay, so I'm going to go to our support center. And look up the access decision smart tag. Scroll down. So the access decision smart tag allows us to control what happens instead of MemberMouse behaving by default. So we can do something in the case where somebody does have access, which is this block here. So I'll go ahead and copy that and come back over here, edit as HTML, and paste that in. So, and I'll just put in, you have access to this content. So now if somebody has access to this page, they will see you have access to this content. Now, before I do anything else, I'll just show you what the effect of this has been. Sorry, like I said again, I'm not on my own computer, so some of my efficiency things I don't have available to me, so I have to be a little bit slower. All right, so if I go to this page again, oh wait, resolve, cover text, update. And that's, oh wait, I need to put in what happens if they don't have access. So I'll add this block here. This block is if they don't have access. So I'll just type in for now, you don't have access. this again. Oops. That's not. Okay, so now you see, instead of being redirected, it's showing me the text. You don't have access to this content. So now we have this opens up the door to us to have control over what we want people to see when they do have access and what we want them to see when they don't have access. So what I can do here is I can put in any level of HTML in this area, in addition to where are my menus? In addition to a buy now link. So if I go and I look at what they need to buy, so they need to buy the basic membership. So I'll go and copy the buy now link for the basic plan, copy that. Go back to my page. And you don't have access to this content. And then I'll just say, click here to buy now. Okay, so now if I go do this again. So you don't have access to content, click here to buy now. So I go buy it. I bought it. Now when I go back to the page, you'll see it shows me that I do have access. So we're getting closer to exactly the scenario that you're asking about, like redirecting. But essentially this is, we're 95% of the way there, because what you could do is you can put whatever content you want here. Now you can stop here, right? But the reason why you might want to continue and do something a little bit more complicated is if you want to show whatever message you put here that shows people, if you want to show them literally your sales page, you obviously don't want to have to put your sales page content on every single page that somebody could access that is part of that bundle. You want to redirect them. Now, so basically, in order to do that, you need the help of a WordPress plugin that allows you to use PHP. Off the top of my head, I forget. So PHP, WordPress, PHP plugin. So let's just take this first one. So PHP everywhere. So basically, we want to find a plugin that allows us to use PHP within the WordPress editor. So let's just try this one, okay? So I'll go to I can't install plugins with this account. Okay, I'm not going to do this. This demo administrator account is locked down. You can't install plugins for security reasons. But anyway, you would find a plugin that allows you to do PHP, and then you would put in a PHP redirect. Which is just this one line, right? You would put that inside of the page. Whatever, and each plugin, PHP plugin that allows you to put PHP in the pose, they're gonna have their own formats that how they want you to insert it. So their documentation will show you how you do it, but the PHP code itself will look like this. And this URL will be the URL of your sales page here. So the result will be that when somebody doesn't have access, it'll load this PHP code and redirect them to your sales page. So that's how it would work. Okay. Okay, from Carolyn, related to the sample protected content page, can you provide a preview of the page with a buy button? I think you're referring to just styling the button instead of just having a text link. If that's the case, yes, I can do that. So again, I'll share my screen here. So if you go to our support center again, and type in button styles, and you click on using MemberMouse button styles, this article shows you there is some built-in CSS styling in the plugin itself that's used by our plugin. So we show you how you can use it yourself if you want to. So there's all these different, there's these different sizes, different shapes, and different colors available. So let's say we want to make the buy now button a green pill-shaped just a medium-sized button. Okay, so we'll start with the medium size here. So the way this is all dealing with CSS classes, so we just need to look at the class thing here. So we go back to the page that we created. And we go to where the href is. So the class would go here. Class equals button. So at this point, if we just go and look at the page, we'll see that now we have a button, but we want to make it green and pill-shaped. So go back to our documentation. So to make it pill-shaped, we add this text rounded here, and then to make it green, we just add the text green. Green, update, go back to this page and refresh. So that's how you can make it look like a button using our styles. There's obviously, you know, tons of ways you can make buttons, but this is a way that MemberMouse will help you do it. There are WordPress plugins that will help you make buttons. Your theme might have things in it that allows you to make buttons that go along with the theme itself. But this is something quick that we have available, and hopefully it looks good with your theme. Oh, that wasn't what you're asking. Can you show a preview of the protected page content? Say a grayed out version where nothing is clickable, but you also add a buy button where they can buy and then see the content. Right now, we can't share our pages because when a non-member goes to the content, they get to the error page. Misunderstanding this, or I'm not understanding this. Grayed out version where nothing is clickable. But you also add a buy button, show teaser content. Well, that's what I was just doing, right? Like the example I have right now is, you know, this is the teaser content. Like you can put whatever you want here. There doesn't need to be a button. You can put what, you know, I'm not going to spend time writing out some sample copy and have images here and whatever. The point is, you know, that just through what I have, I'm not sharing my screen. I'm looking at this page. So this is the teaser content. This can be whatever you want it to be because you can literally, I'm literally just typing whatever I want in this space. This is just sample content. You can do whatever you want. You can put whatever HTML, CSS, everything. So that's up to you. And it's all dependent on how you make it look. The HTML you're going to use, the CSS you're going to use is all dependent upon your theme. It has nothing to do with MemberMouse. The purpose of this example is simply to show you how you can use the smart tags to basically allow MemberMouse to determine what content to show based on what access somebody has. If they don't have access, it'll show this content or whatever you put in here, which can or not include a button depending on what you want to do. And if they do have access, it'll show this or whatever you want. So yeah, that's that. Yeah, and Cindy just put in a link there to an article that goes over this stuff. Okay. So I think I got through all the questions. Yes. Well, thanks for joining. Thanks for asking the questions. Hopefully this was helpful. And I hope you have a good weekend. And we will see you next time. And if things were gone through too quickly in this video and you'd like to review it again, we will have replays that are posted later, and the link will be sent to you if you've subscribed to this. Okay, so we'll see you next time. Bye.